This is the 1/5 acre farm. I am gearing up this old register grate that used to be over the wood furnaces that would have been in the basement, and this is how the hot air came up through the floor. I went and bought one of these at one of the local scrap yards for $100, and I'm going to put this in the floor to be able to let the hot air from downstairs from my old-fashioned wood cook stove, which I'll show you a little bit later. But I'll show you, I'm cutting a hole in the floor, and this is the hole in the floor that I've cut. I've talked to my local insurance company and my building inspector to make sure that this was legal to put in. But I wasn't going to avoid my insurance, so you should check around to your local insurance companies and building inspectors to make sure that it's alright in your area. So what I did is I roughed out the hole where I wanted it to be in between the floor joists, and then I took a piece of door skin, I laid it on top of the register grate, and then I cut it out. Then I took that piece of plywood there and I tacked it down to the floor, and I took a utility knife very carefully that you don't cut outside, or your knife doesn't run outside of the piece of plywood, and score the flooring really good. And then I took a chisel and went around the whole outside. As you can see, I got it chiseled in. I would take my chisel on the flat side, put it in against this side, and just take one tap and then take that little piece out on an angle this way. And then I got that all done all the way around. So I got a good fine edge for my register grate to go down into. Now I got my rotor set to the depth of the lip on the register grate, and now I'm going to rotor around this that it is to the same depth as what the register grate is. Then I can lay the register grate in there. Then I have to drywall the edges of the beams there, just so if there were to ever be a fire, then that would slow it down, having the drywall on the beams. So I'm going to rotor this out and clean everything up a little bit, and then I'll show you downstairs where I have my old-fashioned wood cook stove. That's CSA approved. You can get them in Ontario. I think you can get them at your local home hardware stores or stove place. You should be able to get them. So I will be back. I'm going to rotor this out now, and then I'll show you another video after I have it in place, and I'll show you a video from down below what it looks like and what it looks like finished up above here. So we'll be back. More to come. Hello, this is the 1/5 acre farm. I just finished putting in the register grate in the floor. My wife put the dining room back together before I had a chance to take a video of it. That was in the middle of the mess. But I got it in the floor here, and you can see around the edges I got to do a little bit of staining around the edges, and then up here it is finished. So this will let the hot air from downstairs rise up, and we have an old-fashioned wood cook stove downstairs that I'll go down and show you in a few minutes here, and we can take a look at that, what we've gotten done downstairs. Okay, be back in one sec. This is the old-fashioned wood cook stove. that we got that we heat the house with, and I heat our hot water with it. That goes to our electric hot water tank, which we have turned off right now. So we heat the house and we heat our hot water and we can cook on it. My wife right now is rendering off some hot water, or some tallow, so she can make soap. And we got some fat that we got off of our goats. We just slaughtered our goats here this weekend, and we're going to use them to make candles. But now here is the underneath of the grate. I don't know, I'm going to have to get down here further. Yeah, there's the grate in the floor. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drywall in around the floor joists, and in between the little cavities that are right there, I'm going to fill them in with drywall, and then fill it all in, and then paint it black so it all blends in, and then that will be finished. So that's going to save us a lot of money by letting the heat be able to go up through here, and then the cold air comes down down the stairs. So that is that. When I finish the bottom, I'll take another video, short video of it. More videos to come. This is the 1/5 acre farm. I am getting my firewood in. I have this geared up that I can bring my wheelbarrow right inside and unload it. I have 2 plank there, and that 1 2x4 goes across at the head of the door, or the basement, or the downstairs door, and then I pile my wood in on this side, and I get enough in that I can pile enough wood in there for a week's worth of wood. And once I get the plank down, I'll show another video with the plank down, and then another video of me in there with the wheelbarrow to show you how it's done. This, I utilize every square inch of whatever we have here. I'll be back in a sec. So this is what it looks like when I have the planks laid down. And then I take my wheelbarrow right inside and put it off to the side there. And then my wood pile, actually it's dark, maybe if I turn on the outside light. We have our wood pile right out here underneath a shelter right alongside my building. And so I don't have far to go to bring the wood in, but it's so convenient to be able to bring it in here with the wheelbarrow and sit it up, and it's enough for a week. I don't have to go outdoors at all, other than once a week. Okay, I'll show another video once I get some wood in here and the wheelbarrow sitting in place. Back in a minute. So here we got 2 wheelbarrow loads. We got one on the shelf already, and we got one in the wheelbarrow. And I usually get 4 wheelbarrow loads in there. And like I say, that lasts a week of burning. That heats the house. That's 24 by 32. That's the basement and the upstairs, and I do it with an old-fashioned wood cook stove. It's a newer model, CSA approved. I got that out of Ontario. And it heats our hot water as well. So this is how I get my wood in and heat the house for the winter. I heat it with 4.5 to 5 cords a winter. So there's that video, the 1/5 acre farm, and more to come. And there's what it looks like when all the wood is in. I just gotta go up the stairs here and grab an arm load, and I bring it down and I put it in my wood stove here. That heats our hot water, and we can cook on it. You can cook a really good roast or a really good chicken in that. It just falls right off the bone. And then we heat our hot water with that as well too. I haven't had my electric hot water on now for about 3 months. And between our solar panels and our hot water here, our hydro bill's gone down over $300, which is a really good thing. I like it. Not having to pay the government. I can do it myself on 1/5 of an acre. Feed myself with meat and vegetables. Just wished I had a little bit more for planting fruits and stuff, but we go up in the valley and we pick all our apples and pears and stuff like that for pickling, and so we don't have to have as much property. And then in here I'm going to turn this area into our winter kitchen. I'm going to be putting cupboards in here. That's going to go across here, and in the corner I was going to put a china cabinet that stands up to the ceiling, and then have this all countertop. Then that way we can store all our mason bottles and stuff downstairs, and my beer. I'm yet to learn how to make wine yet, but I'm still trying. I'm good at making beer and other things. But we won't get into that. So these are the laundry racks that we make as well too. And that's what they look like when they're folded up. And then they fan out like this here, and you can get a full load of laundry on them. And then down here in our stove room, our winter kitchen, we dry all our clothes down here. Within 2 to 3 hours all our clothes are dry, so we're not even using our dryer. And then in the summer we dry all our clothes outdoors. So this is my last project. I'm putting a grate in the floor, the old furnace grates. I don't have it quite finished yet. I gotta let's get down here on the floor so I can take a better picture of it. I got an old floor grate from an old furnace, so I finished this up. I got it all crack filled now. Now I just got to sand it and paint the ceiling and paint the inside of the box here black so it blends in with the register grate. And then I heat my upstairs with this as well. So it really helps because the air goes up, the warm air goes up through here, and then the cold air comes down the stairwell. There's a stairwell right over there that goes upstairs. So it's really efficient. There's only one room in the back corner, our daughter's room, that's a little bit cool. We got a little electric oil heater in the back there, and that heats it up. But I'm looking into getting maybe a little fan, and because I got a hole up through the floor now, but it seems like the air just doesn't want to circulate up through there. So I'm going to get a fan and put up there and see if we can have that heating a little bit better. Well, that's all I have for today, and this is the 1/5 acre farm, and more videos to come. Here's our winter kitchen. I finally finished it. I got a wood box here on the end, and right there that lid lifts up, and then I can actually drop the wood down through the top and not have to bend over and put piece by piece in through the hole there, which makes it a lot easier on the back. And then these two doors I have just open underneath, And then these 3 drawers, this one and this one, I have just one drawer on the top, and then behind this door I have 3 drawers to store all our utensils and stuff for cooking, and all our mason bottles and stuff go down here so they're out of the way. And then you've seen the drying racks out earlier in one of the other videos. So this is where we'll be cooking and doing all our prepping on foods and stuff and preserves, so we don't have all that stuff up in our kitchen. This is our winter kitchen, and then we have a wash tub in our laundry room, furnace room, so we got a place to clean up as well too. So this is our winter kitchen. This is what we were waiting for before we turn our power off, and probably within the next week or so we'll be turning the power off and see if we can do it without having power. So more videos to come. The 1/5 Acre Farm.